Akira opened his compound eyes to a world of chitin and terror. The tunnel shook with the thunder of termite mandibles. Worker ants streamed past in a mindless tide, throwing themselves onto scythe-like jaws. A massacre.
This is insane. Pure mass without maneuver. Sun Tzu would call it a dance of death. Flank them. A small team, through the side tunnels. If I can just break their line.
With a desperate burst of pheromones, Akira broke from the suicidal charge and signaled to those nearest.
A handful turned, following his trail. Enough for a flanking strike.
The termite soldiers, massive and merciless, never saw the attack from the roots coming. Akira led his squad in a silent thrust into the termites' flank. Jaws found gaps in their chitin armor. For a moment, the tide shifted. Akira's 6 ants cut a gap in the enemy line, and the hive felt it. Deep in the hive, the queen's antennae twitched. Something had changed, but the main termite force still crushed the colony's heart. In the throne chamber, the guards dragged Akira before Queen Myrmidia. Her command pheromones had gone cold.
You broke formation. The swarm mind demands obedience, not improvisation. Explain yourself, worker.
The swarm mind is suicide. I used tactics from a world you cannot imagine, and we cut through their line.
Tactics? We are ants. Our strength is numbers. What can one worker's tactics do against 1,000,000 termites?
Your Majesty, the termites use formations, choke points, and feints. Meet them with mindless swarms, and they will slaughter us all.
The queen's compound eyes narrowed, but not with anger, with calculation. This worker spoke with the voice of a commander.
You speak as if you have led armies. Who were you before this life, little one?
In another life, I studied war. I can save this colony. Give me a squad, and I will prove it.
The queen considered, her antennae tasting the air. Then she issued a terse pheromone command that silenced the chamber.
You will have a single squad at the eastern breach. Hold it until dawn without retreat, and I will hear your strategy further.
The eastern breach was a jagged wound in the colony wall, already slick with hemolymph. Akira surveyed the carnage with a general's eye.
We don't just plug the gap. We turn it into a killing ground. Piled debris here form a choke point they can't swarm. 'Tis to the formation. Overlapping shields. They'll funnel through that gap right into our spears.
As the termite assault crashed against the barricade, Akira's squad held, a wall of chitin that refused to break. But the enemy commander, a veteran scarred from a dozen wars, saw the trap and sent flankers through the side tunnels.
They're learning. I need to counterflank. Squad, split. Pulses of pheromones redirected his soldiers.
Ants and termites clashed in the narrow tunnel, mandibles locking. The squad fought with a precision the swarm mind never taught. As the first pale light of dawn crept through the cracks, the termite assault faltered, but so did Akira's squad. Half were dead.
We held, barely, but the queen will see. That's all that matters.
Wordless, the queen's scouts had watched the whole night. Now they scurried back to the throne with news of a miracle.
A single worker held the breach with tactics that saved dozens. This is not instinct, this is a weapon.
She summoned Akira a second time, not as a prisoner, but as a curiosity worth a queen's full attention.
You held the breach. You did not merely follow instinct, you shaped the battle. Tell me, Akira, what would you do with the entire colony?
I would transform the colony into an army. Not a swarm, a disciplined force with scouts, signal lines, and organized reserves. Ambush at choke points, fortifications at the outer tunnels, and an intelligence network of aphids to track termite movements.
He spoke of using aphids as spies, tiny insects that could slip past termite lines unnoticed. The queen's antennae stiffened with wonder.
No ant has ever thought to command aphids as spies. You are either a genius or a madman. I will give you authority to test your methods.
But before Akira could speak, A wounded scout burst into the chamber, antennae crackling with panic.
The termite emperor has taken the field himself. His entire army marches on our nest. We have 3 days at most.
3 days to turn 1,000,000 insects into a modern army. That's not a deadline. It's a declaration of war.
At dawn, Akira flew from the colony with 6 of his best soldiers, following an old beetle trading trail into the deep woods.
Diplomacy with beetles. They respect strength, not words. I'll need to prove we're more than mindless drones.
They landed at the entrance of a hollow oak, the domain of Chieftain Titan. Guards blocked the way, horns lowered.
Ants, you are prey that learned to walk upright. Why should the Titan clan waste time on you?
Because the termite emperor marches on us. If we fall, his horde will swarm your oak next. Your strength won't stop 1,000,000.
Bold words for a worker. Prove it. Your squad against 3 of my warriors. Win and we'll talk. Lose and you become my servants.
A trap, but exactly the challenge we need. If we fight like ants, we lose. Time to fight like a modern army.
The beetle warriors charged, 3 armored titans. Akira's squad scattered, not in panic, but into a practiced feigned retreat. The beetles, overconfident, separated. Akira's hidden flankers struck from behind, locking joints and forcing surrender in seconds.
Impressive. But termite scouts are in the eastern ravine. If you can intercept them without losing a single ant, we have an alliance.
Akira led his squad into the ravine, aphid spies flitting ahead through the undergrowth. Their tiny antennae quivered with messages.
They're not just scouting, they're guarding a cache. Weapons, food, either way, it's a trap. They're expecting us. We'll set our own trap within theirs. Squad, form a crescent and wait for my signal.
The termite scouts marched right into the crescent, confident behind their bait. They never sensed the second trap, but as the last scout fell, a new scent hit Akira's antennae, termite reinforcements flooding the ravine behind them.
It's a counter ambush. They sacrificed scouts to pin us. We have to break out now. Smoke screen. Release the pulverized capsicum now. Retreat in staggered pairs. Cover your partner.
In the chaos, one soldier took a glancing blow. Hemolymph seeped through a chink in her armor, but she kept running.
No deaths, but the beetle said without losing a single ant, a wound might count as failure to him.
Back at the hollow oak, Akira presented the scouting report. Complete, but his silence about the injury weighed like a broken promise. Titan studied the leaf map, antennae twitching. Then his massive horn turned toward Akira, accusation in his gaze.
You said no losses, yet I smell hemolymph. Did you think a beetle can't scent a wound through a lie of omission?
One soldier took a glancing hit. She survived and fought on. I should have reported it. The failure is mine.
A leader who owns his mistakes is rarer than a flawless battle. Fine, the Titan clan will march with you, but we strike the termites today.
Today? That gives us no time to rest, but it seals the alliance. Every hour counts.
Before Akira could reply, a ragged bee scout tumbled onto the bark, wings shredded. She thrust a torn wax tablet at his feet. Akira read the message aloud, his voice hardening. The hive of Apis is under siege. Fire rains from above. The sky demons have come.
Fire from above. Not termites. Something worse. But we can't abandon the bee city. Their alliance might be the key to everything.
Simultaneously, in a fortress of bone and dirt, Emperor Terminus watched his scouts return with news of the Beetle Alliance.
They dare unite against me. Unleash the sap burners. Burn every nest, every ally, until only my empire remains.
Aphid messengers delivered Akira's report to Queen Myrmidia. The alliance was sealed, but the bees were under fire.
He has the Titan clan, and now the bee city cries for aid. I must trust his strategy while we brace for the storm.
Titan, the bee city is under siege. I need 50 of your warriors to break the assault while the main force hits the termites.
Splitting our strength, risky. But if the bees fall, we lose the skies. Take 50. I'll lead the rest to the termite flank.
Akira flew ahead with the beetle squad, the forest blurring beneath them. Smoke trails stained the horizon like black scars. The bee city was a golden tower wreathed in fire. Termite sap burners hurled flaming resin, and the air screamed with dying bees.
Those weapons could burn the whole ant colony. We have to capture them or adapt fast.
The beetle warriors crashed into the termite siege line, smashing the sap burners. Akira led a flanking pincer from above.
Blessed strategist, you saved my city. In return, every bee that can still fly will join your coalition.
But before Akira could celebrate, a tremor shook the ground. The termite emperor's main army had smashed into the ant colony's outer walls.
The colony. I left it too long. With the bees and beetles behind me, we might still hold the line.
At the colony, the outer walls were a nightmare of shattered chitin and termite mandibles. Queen Myrmidia herself stood at the breach, fighting.
Kira, you are back. The Emperor's sappers are under the nursery. If they collapse the ceiling, all the larvae die.
A targeted collapse. They're not just invading, they're performing genocide. I need to evacuate the nursery and then retaliate. Evacuate the nursery. Form a defensive ring at the royal chamber. I'll take a squad and collapse the sapper tunnel on their heads.
Akira led a dozen soldiers into the nursery, the ceiling already groaning. They worked frantically to shore up the supports while others carried larvae. Aphid spies reported. The termite sappers were directly above. Akira ordered a counter-collapse, dropping part of the tunnel on the termites. With a thunderous crack, the ground swallowed the enemy. But the cost was grim. The nursery wing was lost, and a dozen of Akira's squad were entombed.
Victory through sacrifice. Every general's nightmare. But the larvae are safe. Now I can focus on the surface war.
Queen Myrmidia, now guarding the inner chambers, signaled a retreat to the secondary line, a tactic Akira had drilled into them days before. On the surface, Akira gathered his coalition leaders at a makeshift command post, a flat rock under the ancient oak. Titan and Queen Apis had arrived.
Our combined forces hit the termites in a pincer. Titan's beetles bulldoze their center. Apis's bees rain fire from above. Our ants hold the flank.
The assault began like thunder. Titan's beetle warriors smashed through termite barricades as if they were twigs, horns gleaming with gore. Above, the bee bombers dropped vials of caustic honeydew, searing the termite rear lines. The sky became a rain of golden death. Akira's ant divisions, now drilled in formation warfare, advanced as a single rolling wall of spear and shield, cutting off any termite retreat.
Impossible. Retreat to the eastern ridge. Sacrifice the drones. We must regroup before the fire consumes us all.
The fire? He's not talking about our weapons. What is he afraid of?
An aphid scout landed on Akira's shoulder, trembling. Beyond the eastern ridge, a wall of smoke advanced. Unnatural, consuming everything, forest fire. But not from termite sap burners. This was deliberate, systematic, the work of axes and torches, not insect war.
The termite emperor wasn't running from us. He was running from them. This war just became a whole different scale.
Through the smoke, towering silhouettes moved with rhythmic sweeps of glowing steel, human loggers, felling trees with methodical terror.
The sky demons the bees feared. They're not demons, but weapons. This fire isn't a battle, it's deforestation. We can't fight steel with chitin.
Then we are doomed. All our wars were games next to this. What can insects do against those monsters?
We ally with the termites right now. The enemy of my enemy is the only tool we have left. I'll fly to the Emperor.
Akira flew low, following the termite retreat. He found Emperor Terminus wounded, his royal guard shattered, cowering beneath a fallen log.
Strike me down, ant. But know this, the fire will not spare your nests either. We need a truce, or we all burn.
A truce with a genocide architect. Sun Tzu never prepared me for this, but he's right. Alone, we die. Together, we might talk. Provisional truce. Your survivors join our columns, but if you betray us, I'll collapse every tunnel you hide in. Understood?
Akira returned with the termite emperor in tow, a sight that stilled every antennae in the camp. The war was over. The apocalypse had begun.
The fire consumes all. We don't need to beat it. We need to make the humans stop. And that means we need to talk to them.
Akira gathered the council and revealed his desperate plan. Use 100 ants to spell out a message in giant letters the humans could read.
We can't fight steel and fire. But if we can make the humans see us as intelligent, maybe they'll negotiate instead of burn.
A message. They'll step on us without a second thought. This is a fantasy strategist.
I need the Mantis clan. Their speed can deliver our message where humans patrol. Scythe owes no one but respects strength. I'll persuade her.
Akira flew into the bamboo grove where Warlord Scythe meditated, her scythe arms crossed. She didn't open her eyes as he landed.
Warlord, the forest burns. We need your clan to plant a truce plea where the giant ones will see it. I ask a warrior's favor.
I have watched your battles. You are not prey. We will carry your message. But if it fails, I will hold you as my trophy.
An aphid scout burst in, antennae flashing red alert. The fire was 200 body lengths away. They had hours.
If this doesn't work, there's no plan B. The entire forest, my colony, my allies, everything, rests on ants forming letters on a leaf.
At the forest edge, 100 ants began their microscript, each letter formed by living bodies, spelling a plea in the dirt. The ants completed their script, a single word in the dirt, peace. Then they scattered, leaving only the silent plea and a line of white petals.
Now we wait. The term wait in military doctrine is measured in enemy movement, and the enemy is fire.
A young human soldier on patrol stumbled upon the markings. He crouched, frowning at the white petals arranged like an offering. He called his commander over. The grizzled general stared at the word written by ant bodies, then at the petals, then toward the uncanny silence of the insects. In his tent, the general presented a leaf with ant microscript to Princess Alara, who had been sent to oversee the logging operation.
They wrote peace. Insects that can write are not pests. They are a nation. Halt the logging immediately.
The general argued about the king's orders, but Alara clutched the leaf, a seed of defiance rooting in her scholarly mind.
I see movement in the human camp. Commotion, not flames. Something changed. But is it enough to stop the fire?
The fire still crept closer, but for the first time, human scouts hesitated at the tree line. A single question hung in the smoke. Were they destroying a civilization? And from the undergrowth, a single white petal drifted into the path of the hesitating humans. An invitation they could no longer ignore. Princess Alara overrode the general's protests. She would ride out with a white flag and a single escort to meet the insect leader.
She's coming. If I don't meet her, the chance dies. But if I fly into their camp and they swat me down...
You would risk yourself to these giants. If they crush you, our colony loses its mind.
If I don't go, we all burn. This is not strategy anymore, Your Majesty. This is the only move left.
Akira launched from the canopy, wings catching the smoky draft, soaring alone toward the clearing where the princess waited.
The little strategist has more guts than my whole clan. If he dies, we charge the giants ourselves.
No ant has ever stood before a human as an equal. I am not an ant right now. I am the representative of 1,000,000 souls.
He landed on a sunlit stone, directly in the path of the mounted princess. Her horse shied, but she dismounted, eyes fixed on the tiny figure.
You are the ant who wrote peace. I am Princess Alara. Can you truly understand me?
She's speaking. Words, I don't know, but the tone is gentle. Now, I must prove we are more than insects. We are a nation.
Akira scratched a circle in the dirt, a sun, a tree, then two figures, one large, one small, standing side by side, universal symbols.
Drawings are primitive, but they cross language. If she can understand, we might build a bridge.
He's drawing. Sun, tree, us. This is not an animal. This is a mind.
Elara slowly removed her riding glove and extended her bare hand, palm up, an invitation so delicate it held the weight of two worlds.
If she closes her fist, I die. But if I don't step onto her hand, we all die. Trust is the only weapon left.
Akira stepped from the stone onto the warm, living expanse of her palm. The princess felt the tiny weight, and her breath caught.
You weigh nothing, and yet you trust me with your life. I swear on my crown. I will honor that trust.
From the tree line, the grizzled general watched in astonishment as the princess lifted the ant to eye level. A tiny ambassador.
Now for the real negotiation. I need to pantomime the logging, the fire, the plea. How do you sign stop deforestation with 6 limbs?
The orange glow of the fire now flickered on the horizon, but for the first time, no human torch advanced. The meeting was holding the inferno at bay. Akira pointed at the fire, then at the trees, then mimed cutting with his baton. He drew a line through the tree symbol. Stop.
You want the logging to stop, but my father's decree, I need something to show him. A token of friendship.
A token? She needs proof of our civilization. But what do we have that a human would value? The only thing of value we have is our strategy, our methods. I can give her a map of our formations. It proves we are an army, not a swarm.
Akira signaled to the forest edge. Moments later, a mantis warrior appeared, carrying a folded leaf tablet etched with battle diagrams.
This is a military formation map. You are not just asking for peace. You are showing me you could fight if you chose not to.
Exactly. A gesture of strength, not weakness. Now, Princess, will you take this to your king?
The general, now mounted beside the princess, pointed east. Scouts reported the fire had shifted toward the human camp itself, a consequence of their own logging.
The fire threatens us all now. We have no choice but to negotiate. I'll take this map to my father immediately, and you, little general, will come as my proof.
Going to the human capital, alone, the ultimate risk. But if I refuse, the fire wins. There's no turning back now.
Before departing, Akira released a dense trail of pheromones, one last message to the coalition: hold the fire line. I will bring peace or not return.
He flies to the very monsters who burn our world. If he fails, we die, but he dies alone among giants.
The little strategist put his life on the line for all of us. I never respected an ant until now.
Akira rode in a tiny silk-lined pocket on Princess Elara's collar, the human world sprawling before him. Towers of stone and steel. In the throne room, King Aldrich loomed like a mountain of fur and steel. Elara knelt and presented the leaf tablet and the ant itself. The king's laughter rattled the chandeliers. An ant asking for a kingdom, but Elara's steady words and the intricate battle map gave him pause.
Father, this creature commands armies, understands strategy, and chose diplomacy over war. Hear his plea, or the fire will consume us all.
This is the moment. One wrong move. If he swats me, it's over. But his eyes linger on the map, not me. He's calculating.
The king hesitated, then ordered his scribe to draft a proposal, a forest border treaty. A quill scratched across parchment as the ant watched. But even as the ink dried, word came from the forest. The fire had jumped a river. The coalition needed an answer by dawn, or there would be no forest to save. King Aldrich set down his quill. The forest border treaty was signed. Let the fire be fought by human hands, and logging forbidden.
Father, you have saved 2 kingdoms tonight. The insects will remember this.
He did it. The treaty, real ink on real parchment. The forest is safe. We are a recognized nation.
A human rider was dispatched with the king's seal, a ceasefire and firefighting order. But Akira carried the news first. On the wind, Akira flew through the night, his pheromone trail blazing the word, treaty. Below, the coalition forces still held the fire line. Exhausted, Queen Myrmidia read the first traces on the night breeze. Her antennae quivered. Then she broadcast the news in a single triumphant pulse.
The little strategist did it. The giants will fight the fire with us.
Akira landed on the old oak command rock, exhausted, but holding a tiny relayed copy of the treaty on a leaf.
The human kingdom recognizes us as the United Insect Empire. No more logging. Fire brigades are on the way. We won.
Queen Myrmidia herself emerged onto the surface for the first time in her reign to place a royal sash over Akira's shoulders. Grand Emissary, human water brigades joined the insect lines. Together they beat back the flames, shovels and mandibles, working side by side until the firebreak held.
Today, we are no longer prey or swarm. We are an empire, and every creature who stood with us is a citizen.
The termite empire is no more. Let its strength be absorbed into the United Insect Empire under one law.
We did it, but this is only the beginning. Now we must govern, rebuild, and ensure no one forgets how close we came to annihilation.
I have come as the first human ambassador to the United Insect Empire. Let our alliance be written in soil and stone.
Rebuilding began at dawn. Ants and humans raised a nursery together, the first joint structure of the new era.
From this day, let every insect of the forest know. We are not separate colonies, we are the first insect empire.
Grand strategist Akira, architect of the empire. Without you, we would be ash. The empire is yours as much as the queen's.
Akira looked out over the saved forest. The sunrise painted the leaves gold. For the first time in his second life, he allowed himself to simply breathe. The first insect empire was no longer a dream scribbled on a human notepad in Tokyo. It was real, chitin, dirt, and undeniable.
Grand Emissary. The title still feels heavier than the sash. Now I carry the hope of 1,000,000 insects on my wings.
Akira, the human princess waits. Go to their city as our voice. Secure a permanent accord. And remember, you are our finest product of evolution.
I will not fail, Your Majesty. Our empire will have an embassy in the human heart, and they will know us as equals.
Ready, little general. The carriage is at the forest edge. Today, you ride not as a curiosity, but as a dignitary.
Once I studied war in an office. Now I ride to a king's court to negotiate peace for a nation I built from dirt and instinct.
The human capital opened its gates. Akira, perched on a velvet cushion, was carried through streets where children waved tiny paper ants in celebration. In the grand hall, a tiny table had been set beside the throne, a scale model of a treaty room built just for him.
On behalf of the United Insect Empire, I accept the permanent treaty and pledge our alliance. May our civilizations grow together. From a dead analyst to an ant, and now a voice that moves nations. If my old self could see this, I think he'd finally be proud.
The sun set over 2 kingdoms, now one shared world. In the quiet of the ambassador's quarters, Akira unrolled a tiny leaf map of a forest at peace. Dawn painted the human city in pale gold. Akira stood on the ambassador's balcony, a tiny figure against the vast stonework.
This is a sight no ant was meant to see. Yet, here I stand, a strategist, a diplomat, a whisper of change.
Far beyond the city walls, the great forest stretched unbroken. Smoke no longer marred the horizon. Only morning mist rose from the canopy.
The Queen trusted me. The Coalition followed me. And a human princess became my friend. This second chance, I will spend it protecting this peace.
He launched from the balcony, wings catching the breeze, heading home, not as a soldier, but as a guardian. Below, a line of ants carried a fresh leaf treaty to the forest edge. Humans and insects worked together, planting saplings where ash once lay. The first insect empire was not a conquest of territory. It was a conquest of trust, proving that the smallest voice could move giants. Akira landed on the old oak command rock, where it had all begun. The sash of Grand Emissary fluttered in the gentle wind.
No more running from death, only building for life. This is my legacy, not of blood, but of bridges.
And as the sun climbed over the saved forest, a single ant looked out and saw not an enemy, but a world. Seasons turned. The forest healed. Trees that had known only fire now reached for the sun in peace. On the anniversary of the treaty, the leaders gathered once more. Not as wartime allies, but as friends.
Akira, you gave us more than victory. You gave us a future. The Empire will never forget.
Your Majesty, it was never about one ant. It was about what happens when we stop seeing each other as threats and start building together.
Night fell. Akira returned to his favorite leaf, the highest point of the old oak, and looked at the stars.
Sun Zi said the greatest victory is one that requires no battle. I finally understand what that means.
The baton he had once used to draw battle plans now rested beside him, carved with the symbols of every species that called the Empire home. In the quiet, a gentle breeze carried the scent of wildflowers, a fragrance that had been absent during the fire, now returned.
This is my world now. Not the one I lost, but the one I built. And it is beautiful.
And so, under a canopy of stars, the Grand Emissary rested, knowing that the smallest among them had changed everything.